this is the season for announcing all the Nobel Prizes, including most recently, I think, the Nobel Peace Prize. And that prompted me to look over some of the past Nobel Peace Prize acceptance speeches to see if there was something suitable to read. And I found one of several possibilities from the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu, who of course was recognised in that prize for his work to overcome apartheid in South Africa. But before I read that, and to set it in perhaps a more up-to-date context, I'd like to share with you part of an email from a friend of mine called Ziad. Ziad is a Lebanese Christian, and he's an associate professor at the University of Notre Dame in Beirut. And one of his specialisms includes interfaith relations. A few years ago, Ziad was able to move his family from Beirut to Lyon in France for their greater safety. But he travels back regularly to Beirut to teach at the university. And actually, irrelevantly, alongside his role as a university teacher, he grows lemons outside the city and makes excellent limoncello. With the situation in Lebanon worsening, I wrote to him to see how and where he was. Was he with his family in France or still in Beirut, trying to cope with the terrible situation there? And about a week ago, he wrote back, "Yes, I'm caught in Beirut and couldn't find a flight to join my family in Lyon. The first availability flight is the end of October. Meanwhile, I'm waiting to see what and how we're going to do at the university. As you can imagine, since 2 weeks, that's 3 weeks now, we couldn't teach at all due to the war, and now we don't know what and how to do. Just yesterday, 73 tons of bombs fell in the southern part of the capital at midnight, so you can imagine how a human being can feel in such a context. In addition of our own stress, the kids, the pets, etc. start yelling. And to make a long story short, our nights are extremely short. But the good part of what's going on," Ziad continues, "is that I'm pleased to share with you that the fact that with a few members of my organisation, we're volunteering to cook for the displaced. This week we were helping in preparing more than 4,000 plates per day, a very rich and unique experience. Hope I soon can have some better news to share, but frankly speaking, I guess our journey is going to be long." And so, with that context, to the short extract from Desmond Tutu's Nobel acceptance speech 40 years ago in 1984. Ziad's situation in Lebanon reminds us just how important it is to hold these principles at the heart of what we do, wherever we are in our world. Unless we work assiduously so that all of God's children, our brothers and sisters, members of our one human family, will all enjoy basic human rights, the right to a fulfilled life, the right of movement, of work, the freedom to be fully human, with a humanity measured by nothing less than the humanity of Jesus Christ himself, then we are on the road inexorably to self-destruction. We are not far from global suicide, and yet it could be so different. When will we learn that human beings are of infinite value because they've been created in the image of God, and that it is a blasphemy to treat them as if they were less than this? In dehumanizing others, the oppressors are themselves dehumanized. Perhaps oppression dehumanizes the oppressor as much as, if not more than, the oppressed. They need each other to become truly free, to become human. We can be human only in fellowship, in community, in peace. Let us work to be peacemakers. If we want peace, so we've been told, let us work for justice. Let us beat our swords into plowshares.